Hello, drama lovers. Welcome back to K-pop world. There are times when entertainment world no longer feels like a stage bathed in light, but rather a long corridor where secrets are quietly hidden. And behind every smile shown to the public, there are stories unfolding in silence. Never spoken, yet slowly revealed through gestures that no script or management can fully control. That day, Paris was buzzing. Fashion Week always brings a certain kind of glow to a city that never truly loses its charm. Thousands of camera lenses were pointed in every direction, capturing the faces of global celebrities. Among them, two names from China once again took center stage: Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan. They attended separate events, even at different times. Some said it was a strategy, others called it a coincidence. But one small leak that night would soon snowball into a digital storm that no one saw coming. And it all began with a short, 7-second video. The video was uploaded by an anonymous fan. The angle wasn't clear at first, but just enough to spark chaos. Two men with very familiar postures were seen walking briskly through a corridor at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris. Both wore black masks and hats. Their steps were fast, as if trying to avoid attention. But what surprised everyone was their hands, intertwined. At a glance, it could have been brushed off as nothing, just a moment. But then the camera shifted to a clearer angle, showing their profiles. They didn't speak, but their gestures spoke louder than any words. The way their hands locked, there was nothing awkward or accidental about it. It felt familiar, comfortable, or more precisely, intimate. As the video began to spread, netizens held their breath. Could it really be Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan? Hadn't they spent years denying every rumor of a special relationship? Haven't they always kept their distance, especially in front of the media? Soon after, a high-resolution photo surfaced from another angle, taken by a freelance photographer in France. He didn't know who he was capturing, but once his photo landed on social media, the fan community knew instantly. That profile, that build, that body language, it could only be them. Wang Yibo on the right, Xiao Zhan on the left. Their faces were mostly covered by masks, but the way they glanced at each other, it was a look fans knew too well from years ago. Even in silence, their expressions failed to hide something deeper than friendship. Of course, their management teams didn't comment. No statements were released. No denial. No confirmation. Their official social media accounts continued to post promotional content as if nothing had happened. But that silence only made the speculation louder. Because sometimes, when someone chooses not to speak, it's because they can't lie anymore. Fans around the world began reacting in waves. Some were screaming with joy. Some were crying. Others were writing poetry, creating fan art, or dissecting theories, comparing dates, analyzing outfits, even decoding possible hidden messages from songs each had released over the past 2 years. One major fanbase account created an entire thread tracking every subtle interaction between the two since 2020. From how they were never photographed together at public events, to eerily similar captions posted just minutes apart. A particularly intriguing theory emerged, that they deliberately kept their distance in public due to an agreement. Not to deceive fans, but to protect each other from external pressures. And those pressures are very real. In China, same-sex relationships remain a highly sensitive topic. A celebrity showing even the slightest hint in that direction can lose endorsements, projects, even their public standing. So if they've been hiding something all this time, maybe it's because they've been fighting a battle no one can see. A battle between love and career, between personal happiness and public demand. What made this moment even more emotional was the fact that they had never been this open before. That simple handhold wasn't just a sweet gesture. It was possibly an act of quiet defiance, a form of expression they've never been able to display publicly. Once the video went viral, the hashtag #IbajanParis topped global trending lists. Hundreds of thousands of comments flooded their social media. The majority of fans expressed support, saying that whatever their relationship may be, they would always stand behind them. But of course, some voices were skeptical, accusing them of marketing tricks or calling the moment a manipulated stunt. But tell me, can anyone really fake that kind of warmth? A few days later, both Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan returned to China. Officially, it was announced that they took separate flights, but a trusted fan site account claimed to have seen them entering the VIP terminal together. No photos, no video, just words. But in the world of fandom, sometimes that's more than enough to reignite belief. And then came a long silence. Neither of them mentioned the Paris incident. No confirmations, no denials, no hints. But in that very silence, the mystery found its voice. Because when no one speaks, everyone starts to imagine. And when people start imagining, the story becomes something far greater than a relationship. It becomes a hope, a silent ache, a mirror of every hidden truth that so many wish they could live freely. Was this proof they're together? Or just an emotional moment between two longtime friends? Or maybe they never wanted to hide, but the world forced them into silence? We may never know, but one thing we can all feel: something shifted that night in Paris. Something that couldn't be silenced by a press release. Something that made us pause, wonder, and ask ourselves, what happens next? And here we are now, staring at screens, reading gossip, watching every movement, slowly beginning to understand that perhaps the most touching stories aren't delivered in press conferences, but in quiet steps down an empty airport corridor, when two hands find each other and the world begins to whisper. Thank you for staying with us until the end. This story isn't over yet. We will continue to follow their path, whether it's in secret or in the spotlight. Whatever the outcome, one thing is clear. Every truth has its own time to rise. What do you think? Is this the beginning of something bigger? Or just a fleeting moment lost to time? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to K-Pop World for more emotional stories like this one. Until next time,